Bishop Tom Wright, the universally acclaimed New Testament expert, suggests, and it makes sense to me, that Cleopas, one of the travellers on the road to Emmaus, could be the same man as Clopas in John's Gospel. And as Cleopas is married to Mary, one of Jesus' disciples, who's there at the foot of the cross with Mary, the mother of Jesus, and John, the Gospel writer, Tom Wright says it's very likely that the person travelling with Cleopas to Emmaus, if he and Clopas are one and the same, is his wife Mary. So Jesus meets the two travellers in the ordinariness of a 7-mile walk from Jerusalem to Emmaus, although it's not really ordinary, is it? On the journey to Emmaus, Mary, who 3 days before had been one of those who witnessed at first hand Jesus dying horribly on the cross, reflects with Cleopas on the end of Jesus and says to the stranger who comes up to join them, "We had hoped that he was the one who was going to redeem us." Hopes shattered into little pieces and laid to rest in the dark, cold tomb with Jesus. They're walking away from the scene of the tragedy to try and make some sense of it all if they can. Where is God in whom we trust in all of this, they ask themselves, just as we do when inexplicable tragedies hit us, when coronavirus hits our lives. But these two people hadn't let slip their shattered humanity, because they ask the stranger to share an ordinary meal with them. Their common humanity shines through. Think of the first meal in the Bible, a meal between a man and a woman. That moment's heavy with significance. When the woman saw that the tree was beautiful and its fruit looked delicious, and she wanted the wisdom it would give her, she took some of the fruit and ate it. Then she gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate it. At that moment their eyes were opened, and they suddenly felt shame at their nakedness. That allegorical story, so ancient yet nonetheless true in its profound message, tells us how the whole of creation has been subject to decay, futility, sorrow, and death. Yes, death is traced to that one moment of seemingly harmless rebellion against our loving Creator God. Now Luke, echoing the story, describes the first meal of the new creation. As they sat down to eat with the stranger, he took the bread and blessed it. Then he broke it and gave it to them. Suddenly their eyes were opened, and they recognized him, and at that moment he disappeared. A man and a woman shared the first meal in the Bible, and the couple at Emmaus, through another meal, discover that the long curse has been broken and communion with God restored. The curse came about because of the fruit of a tree. The blessing comes about because of Jesus, the fruit of another tree, the tree of life, the cross. It's as if the whole of history has been opened up to them in one blinding flash. From the fall in the garden to the wood of the cross to the garden of the resurrection. And the center of it all is Jesus, who will forevermore, until he comes again at the end of time, be recognized in the breaking of the bread, the Eucharist. But this isn't the Jesus who was laid in the tomb on Good Friday and somehow brought to mind because they were thinking so intensely about him subconsciously that he was somehow there but not really. This is Jesus himself, risen from the dead, the beginning and sign of the new creation. Jesus has gone through and conquered death and come out the other side into a new world of new and deathless creation. still physical, only somehow transformed. We too are called to this ultimate destiny because we've received and we're indwelt by the Spirit of Christ. And the way to begin to take hold of this truth is to journey with Jesus on our own road to Emmaus, and let him open up to us the truth that because of his resurrection, my life and your life will never be the same again because we believe in him. Let's invite Jesus to draw us to himself so that our hearts burn within us as he talks with us on the road and explains the scriptures to us. Then we can be spiritually nourished and sustained as we travel through life in these difficult and unprecedented times.